Hey there, welcome back to the series between Blue and Skyrider. Gonna be taking place now on Torrent Crater. Probably a good map for Conf in general. I imagine this one was Blue's pick, although it's hard to say. Based on game one, I'd say Blue's just gonna have a pretty chill time here. Shouldn't be too hard. And he'll be happy with that. I think he definitely got a good group for him. Huh? You know what? I actually remember now finally what his other games were, like with Cow Schmau. Those were pristine. Just remembering now, I was like dying when I was casting those. I can't remember, just because it looked like so improbable what ended up happening. But Blue did win those actually. I think both of them too. Kind of like both of them in really strange fashion, you know. Okay, so this is interesting. So he's put two salvagers on RUs right in the beginning with the base runner return too. So he's gonna have a ton of RUs here. I wonder what he's gonna do with them, huh? I wonder what he's gonna do with him. Skyrider making salvager, yes. Put him on the RUs. Well, okay. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, okay, so what I'm saying here is it's much better obviously if the carrier stays with these guys who are mining. I think he's trying to do some kind of distribution here, but because there's like 3 patches there, and also because travel time gets reduced to 0 if your carrier is on top of the salvagers. Like, watch this guy when he finishes here, right? He drops off, he goes immediately. So travel time is 0 there. Whereas you're facing like half the travel time for a long distance miner on all the salvagers if you stick in the middle. I don't know how to justify this, but you'll just have to trust me. The math checks out. You're definitely worse off if your carrier's in the middle there. In fact, that's one thing I've seen Descaro do on the shallows a lot that I really don't think is good, is that he'll have guys like long distance mining onto like the 2 patches that are right next to each other. It's like a little bit less than this distance, you know, and like the main is right there. You know how the shallows looks, yeah? And I don't think it's good. I think it actually slows them down a little bit because if you stick on top of these guys, then their travel time is 0, and then these guys have the full travel time to go. And if your travel time is literally 0, you don't have any turning around to do, you don't have any like shuffling or whatever. Like you see them turning around there, right? And so I think that because like the total travel time is the same, because you eliminate that turning time for some of the salvagers, and you get better defense for them too anyway, but that's kind of a different story. That it's actually better to pick one patch and stick with it rather than to get in the middle of 2 of them. And so you see, even in a game between Skyrider and BlueBoo, BozoCow manages to talk about Descara. Sandskimmer's coming in here on the main, and this is something pretty common to see when the lower level players play with each other, is that they leave these guys to like guard the base runner as he goes out into the field. But they're clearly just not in position to hold this here. Blue going after the logistics module, I actually really approve of, and honestly, I think he should stay. Because in this scenario, if you can kill that thing off, that's just like free money, right? The salvagers are a lot harder to kill because they can move, you know, and they've got a lot more health too, I think. Let's check this out actually. 900, yeah, but this... Oh, they have the same armor too, okay. That's actually good to remember. It looks like a salvager is exactly as hard to kill as a logistics module. You know, Blue can actually take this fight, by the way, but the base runner is there, so it's probably better to stay away. Point is, this thing does need to be replaced if it gets killed off there. It's immobile, and if you stay here and fight your opponent, and his carrier fires a missile at you from further away than he should, then you're like, oh, I've actually done even more damage than I think. You can just leave at that point because it means your opponent got Power Reserve 1, so you already won, kind of, right? Yeah. Yes. Blue going with the second production cruiser early. Look how many RUs he's got, and railgun fabrication is finished. So I wonder if he's going to try to finish it off early here. Approaching the 5-minute mark now. So this is pretty late for a rush, but it's assault railguns, okay. I mean, I would honestly just make heavies here, because like, Strikecraft-wise, you're still ahead, yeah? And you got that second PC coming out, so if your opponent starts spamming LAVs, you can counter pretty nicely. So I think you can just go for the kill, honestly, but we'll have to see how this turns out. AAV Fab is on the way now for Skyrider. And you could probably just turn on the healing here too, you know, keep these guys healed up. But yeah, this base runner is definitely trying to extract right now, but he hasn't actually got the artifact. But anyway, he's never going to get through this pass anyway. Yeah, Assault Railgun's in that position now too. This is a nice way to enjoy this game, isn't it? It's like you're watching a Serum video, except without all of the good editing. Speaking of which, did you know he's making one of his videos? That was a bit of a spoiler. I'm gonna cut it out in editing. Probably using that foghorn sound effect again. Anyway, he's making a he's making one of his videos for the Jaraci Cup finals between undisclosed players, and it's gonna be really cool, I bet, when it finishes. Problem is, I actually don't know the outcome of the finals yet. I know. Okay, that's also a spoiler. I'm not gonna. Yeah, okay. But anyway. Blue just really cleaning up the field at this point, by the way. Am I missing anything on the... No. But yeah, that's going to be a really cool video to watch. And he said he actually asked the players who were involved if they wanted to, you know, like, actually be voice actors in the video too, but they declined, so that's not going to be a thing. But, it's going to be a sick video. I gotta say, like, DOK gets some hate sometimes for the low frame rate. I would agree, actually. It's sometimes like a little atrocious actually when you play on like 3v3s and whatever. But the game itself, man, like, it's beautiful, you know. They did a really good job with the decals, didn't they? I mean, it's nice looking, you know. It's nice looking. Except for that kind of crap, but you know, whatever. That's it's actually really interesting. Like, as kind of a don't want to say wannabe, because that's just that I'm not actually doing it. Like a startup game developer. I don't know what you would say, but I always find it really interesting to kind of think about, you know, how other game developers have made certain things work in their game. It's a really interesting thing that BBI chose to do with like Unity. Because it's not actually running the calculations, from what I understand. It's only running the display, and so that's why you get like these super weird like flips and whatever. Because like the units only know that they have like an XY coordinate, and then the Z is just completely rendered in by Unity. Like, it doesn't even exist in the game's calculations. That's why you get that weird like, I believe I can fly, as the cell just goes like flying into the sky. Because he doesn't know like what his Y coordinate is, or his Z coordinate is, when he's in like the processing stage. So he just spawns out of the unit, but he gets put down a little bit too low, and then Unity's like, oh, he's in the ground, give him an impulse. He was flying into the air. It's funny. Anyway, nicely done, Blue. You done did it. He'll be happy with this. Group B is finished, man. I guess you can't see, but I made like a B with my hands in the air. Let me just go on to Battlefly right now and check out the standings for groups A and B, which are the ones we finished, and I'll go ahead and tell you who is winning those groups there. So if we go group stage, group A, So I went 6-0, right? And then Philo, Frosty, and Mazrim all tied, and they played their tiebreaker matches. And the result is going to be that... is this a true result? Let me check it. So the result is going to be that Mazrim moves on to the upper bracket, and then with me as well, of course, because I went undefeated, you know. And then Frosty Teeth and Philothanic are going to go down to the lower bracket. And then we go into Group B over here. I'm sorry you can't see this, by the way. I'm getting kind of lazy. Rate tournament. Oh, yeah. It was good. The tournament was managed, organized well by the admins. Yeah, totally. I like the format structure. Wait times were short during the tournament. I'm gonna, yeah. Anyway, so Group B. So BlueBoo comes out on top, actually, and he is undefeated, mind you. So he didn't lose any matches yet. Or at all, I mean. And then God Hates Weaves comes second, so he's going to advance as well. And then Couchmound and Skyrider are going to head down to the lower bracket. So that's where we are so far. Hope you've been enjoying the casting. I hope you're as stoked as I am that I'm actually going to finish this eventually. And I'll catch you in the next one.